All right, Gemini, let's see what's going on for you guys. These readings are all Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay, so Gem, if this is not your reading, check out your Moon, Rising, or Venus sign. I usually take a little bit of notes on each of those placements and just see what I get. A lot of times you can get something very unique for yourself if you do that. Just a little bit of advice. All right. Let's see where we're going for Gemini right now. What wants to come through for my Geminis? Mid-January, please. Meditate. Big change happening right now. Big change. Wow. Shadow. Holy poker. And courage. Somebody was asking me, my friend was asking me this last night, actually. We were talking on Zoom. She lives all the way across the country and asked me about shadow. And I do think that's a spiritual term because she is a therapist. And she was like, I don't know what that is. And I was like, well, shadow is really the aspects of us that we are ashamed of. Shame has a lot to do with it. And shame is a very low vibe emotion. Okay. If you've ever read, let's see, is this the book? Let's see. Oh, no, here it is. If you've ever read Power versus Force, all right, I highly recommend it. Dr. David Hawkins. And he performed thousands of experiments on emotion and the level of vibration. There's actually vibration to emotion. Shame is super low vibe. And so a lot of times we push the parts of us down that we don't like. And I feel like this change is going to bring up some of those things. And it's really courageous to look them right in the face. We've had lots of talks on this in my Pathfinders group. And sometimes you can even make, or they can be unconscious. And a lot of you have asked, well, if it's unconscious, then how do I know it's even happening? Triggers. Triggers are the red flags that pop up that says, woo, dig here. There's something here. When you're triggered by something and you don't know why, you're like, why did I respond like that? Why did I react like that? It seemed so big, outsized reaction. Okay. A lot of that is showing you this is the part of your psyche that needs your attention. Some of you are going through a big change that is going to bring up a lot of these triggers. And to look it in the face is really going to be the thing. Courage, Camille. Okay. Look it right in the face. Meditation on, I feel like some of you are being asked to connect with your spirit guides in general, because this can be a little destabilizing. Okay. This can be a little bit destabilizing for you, that, you might think that, you could also have other people being triggered by your behavior, or other people making decisions about whether to continue relationships based on behaviors. And so it's really important for you to take a look at the things that you kind of have just been like, well, that's just my personality. That's just who I am. And it's like, actually, if other people are having reactions to it, more than one, not a manipulative person, those would be my guidelines. Then I would take a look at it. Okay. There's a lot going on here. Let's see what the reading shows us for my Gemini. All right. This is going to be a courageous time for you, Gemini, to really look things in the face. All right. 8 of Cups. You're on a brand new journey here. 8 of Wands, Ace of Wands, Queen of Swords, and the Knight of Cups. I'm going to take this because, oh, look at that. Ace of Swords. Right away. I can't stop. 6 of Swords. All right. You're going towards helping other people who might need it from you. And I almost feel like right now you're moving on a different path. Ideas or inspirations coming through during meditation are That's another part of this reading that your guides are saying it's really important that you do that. I feel like some of you are working on relationships in general. Some of you could be working on a new path in terms of your work. And I feel like this is taking you in a different direction. Another moving on card. There's some kind of enlightenment happening here. Two aces, Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords. There's some kind of an aha moment that's coming through. This can be, I'm just getting the Mars retrograde, because when planets retrograde, we go over things again, right? It's going backwards over degrees in your birth chart. It has already transited this year, and now it's like going back, and it's like reviewing, rethinking before you take another action. Some of you may have taken an action to move forward on a new path, and now you're rethinking that. I do feel like the good news is I do feel like there's going to be, when you rethink that, I feel like there's a lot of aha moments that come through. Like it's a good thing to rethink it. And I don't mean that you're going to not do, because I feel like you are moving forward in that same direction. But I feel like there's something, there's maybe something about money or something about the situation, resources that you didn't consider when you first made an action. Mars is action. So where is that showing up for you? Mars is in retrograde in Cancer. It came out of Leo, and now it's retrograding in Cancer. Wherever you have that in your birth chart, those are the parts of your life being impacted. If you do have questions about that, you can ask me on my astrology group on Thursdays. Okay, so let's see what wants to come through with the reading. This is going on under the surface. Aha moments are bringing clarity to the reviewing of a certain process. It doesn't mean you're changing the decision. It means you may change your strategy about things. Something like that. Page of Cups, the Two of Cups, Queen of Wands. There's going to be some kind of apology. Page of Cups, or maybe there was already an apology in terms of a relationship. Nine of Swords, 10 of Wands, Devil card. Wow. Wow. Okay, Ace of Pentacles, third ace, Judgment, Crossroads, Queen of Cups. This is the reviewing part here. This is the look at me, I'm doing too much, or look at what's going on, I'm doing too much. Devil, I feel trapped. I feel trapped in a scenario. I feel like I am not getting what I want out of a scenario, or I feel like I'm doing too much for another person, or another, maybe this is in your work scenario. You could be doing too much, or being anxious that you are trapped. Like there's something that you can't get out of, or you can't move away from within the scenario. I feel like you've tried to work within the scenario, and you're like, well, I can't change this without it completely coming undone. So I might just move on. Like this is, the die has been cast. All right. So some of you might have communicated with a partner or communicated with a boss, or you've just like over the past, I don't know, few years have cemented some kind of pattern in place. Yeah, cemented some kind of pattern in place. And that's making you feel like you need a change here. I feel like you need a change. Some of you have tried to do that, and it's like you can't change it within the box that it's in. And so it needs to get, I feel like it needs to get blown up, or you need to move on from it entirely. I don't know if this is a love relationship or a friendship or a work situation. I'm seeing all of those things. So what is this 10 of Wands? 10 weeks. Yeah, the Knight of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the 9 of Wands, and the Page of Wands. So there is some new ideas coming out of this opportunity, even though you might feel there's some kind of pattern with a person that is making you feel trapped. But I do feel like new ideas, new excitement, new experiences coming in the future. The shadow may be about the communication of the feeling trapped. Maybe that's a hard thing for you, because that does feel, you might feel like not as autonomous as you want. Or you might feel like you said some things and then you kind of got to abide by them. And that's really not what you want. Okay, that's really not what you want. Who is this person? Queen of Wands. This is, okay, before I go on to that, this Knight of Pentacles and the High Priestess. The High Priestess is Cancer energy. We do have Mars retrograding in Cancer right now. And so this is about going over your feelings again. High Priestess is about secrets. I almost feel like you've made some kind of deal with the devil here. You made some kind of deal about some financial experience, and now it's kind of set in stone, and there's not much you can do about it. So you might need to blow it up. Like, that wasn't the right thing. You said something and, it made things nice. It made things okay, but it didn't make things better. You get what I mean by that? Like, I was more concerned that things got peaceful rather than things get better, because to get better, I feel like the conversation needs to be a much more wide-ranging one. This is a pattern. And I don't know, maybe a little people pleasing here, but I also feel that there's some kind of naivete around what the actual process is, or what the actual, what's the way I can get to what I want without blowing things up. And I feel like there's like a do-over, like a starting over kind of feeling here. Who is this Queen of Wands? I don't want to make trouble, no drama. 7 of Swords. Tower. Oh boy, that's drama. The Sun and the Lover's card. There's your card. I just feel like there's a lot in this connection that isn't being said out loud. It requires courage for you. It's not being said out loud because I don't know why. Some of you could be worried that it's going to blow up the relationship. Some of you could be worried that there's resentments boiling underneath the surface here. You might have had it pretty good for a long time, and then you don't know that the other person is boiling underneath, or vice versa. So this ace, so the 7 of Swords, it's going to come out. We do have, like, Mars is going back into Cancer. It's going to be there. It's going to go direct in February. I think it's March or into April that I'll look it up, that Mars is opposite Pluto again. So we just had Mars coming through Cancer. Mars coming through Cancer. It's an opposition. Sorry, it's an opposition. So Mars coming through Cancer, and Pluto was in Capricorn. There was an opposition a while ago. Then Pluto moved into Aquarius. Sorry, I don't mean to be messing you up here. Let's just talk about that. The Pluto opposition in Aquarius was a different kind of energy than Capricorn. I see Capricorn here. So there was something about, well, this is the way it's always worked in the past. And when there was an opposition of Pluto and Mars, there's like a sense of, like, in Aquarius, it's like, oh, we can make new rules now. We can do something different. And it's almost like you didn't do it. You kind of just let things go. And so now there's going to be another blow up because there's resentments because you let it go, because you feel like you're either doing too much or you did too much, and you just thought that that's how it was supposed to work. But now you get the chance to reorient your life in terms of the way things work. And you might believe that um, you have operated in this situation the way you thought things worked. But now I really feel like Aquarius is showing us that things don't work the way we thought they did. Every single one of us is going to have an aha moment about like, oh, that's actually not how things work. We can reorient them. We can reinvent them. We can recreate them. We can do something new. It's going to take courage for you to do that. Ace of Pentacles and Judgment. Ace of Pentacles, the Hermit, the Seven of Wands, the Moon, and the Five of Cups. Okay, so I think the risk here is that this connection doesn't stay together. I think you think, well, I don't know if you know that. I feel like you might think that this will always be together, but you did have some fear about speaking your truth. Queen of Swords, Ace of Swords, speaking your truth, and worried that you would have to move on. And especially if this is a job, like you're like, okay, I know I accepted this salary, or I accepted the way things are. It's now feeling like it's a trap. There's no way to grow. There's no way to move. So I've got to renegotiate this situation. And I just feel like what you don't know, and we'll explore this more in the extended, what you don't know is this person also wants out or wants to change the situation, but it may not be in the direction that you want it to be. And maybe that's why you're not saying anything. Because if I say something, what if it blows up and I have to go in a new direction? I feel like this person that you're dealing with has a lot of secrets, they're keeping a lot of things away from you. I feel like you know that. You have a inkling or an idea. It's possible that also some of you, if this is a boss and if you're working for somebody where you made a deal and it's not that good now, you want to reorient it, but they might already be looking for another job or something like that. And so you're like, well, I need to change this up. And they're like, fine, I quit. And you're like, okay, wow, that's not really what I wanted. But the Nine of Swords here shows me that there's some kind of concern, worry or concern. Hierophant in reverse, Queen of Pentacles, Fool. Yeah, wow, Fool and World, 10 of Pentacles. I feel like there's no real formal agreement, or there's no real, because the Hierophant in reverse, I feel that if you bring this up, the other person may be like, yeah, I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. And then where? And then what? And the biggest worry here is that they go on to something much better than what they had with you. But I honestly feel like, I do feel like that might be the direction here, because this is all coming up during that Mars retrograde, and Mars back into Cancer is about how I feel about things. So if you're having this concern about like, I need to say some things, I need to bring some things to the fore, I think that's true. But I think this is part and parcel of you going your separate ways or going in a direction that's much better for you. This doesn't feel like it's much better for you, like it's gonna get any different. So I belong to a couple of Facebook groups, and people talk a lot about relationships in those groups. I'm really curious to see how people are, what are they experiencing and everything. I mean, doing general readings, it's so fascinating that hundreds or thousands of people actually have the same experience, which is proof that we are one world. It's proof that we are all connected. And they want the other person to change, but they're afraid to say something because that person could say no. And then you've got to make a choice. Or that person agrees with you that things have to change, but what they want is something that you don't want. So like no conversation happens. So I feel like there needs to be a serious conversation here. All right, so let's dive deeper into this. If this is your reading, I'm going to look at the blocks, what you don't see coming, and let's see how this plays out. I'll also get some advice for you. Okay, link is below, Gemini. If you want to continue, I'll see you over there. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.